It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me on yet another cool toy video. And as always, before we get rolling, get comfortable, kick back, especially if it's morning where you're at. Grab yourself that steaming cup of coffee, stir it and clank it, and adjust it to your heart's content. And grab a snack so you have a little energy and you can focus now. Adjust the screen and pay attention to this really odd police car that if you watch any of my live streams, you would have seen that I unveiled it there. Now, believe it or not, if you're comfortably ensconced, because now we're going to roll with it. I could not find a key to properly wind this, but what's amazing is that this giant car is even a wind-up to begin with. Now, let me explain something to you. I had a battery version of this car, same size, as far as I could remember. So I had absolutely no idea that they created this vehicle in a wind-up version, because this is very large for a wind-up. So I saw this old label box, Marusan, who made the battery version, and it also, let me adjust this here, it also has the Kosuge name on it. So I saw this, didn't really read the description, and I said, well, that's cool. I've never seen the box for this before. And because it had the light up top, flashing, I just assumed this was my, well, not mine, but the similar to the old battery one I had. In other words, a boxed version of the old battery one that I had. And in fact, my old one was actually black and white. So I said, this has to be the one. Now, I get the toy, and I unwrapped it on my live stream. And by the way, let's check out this box. It's a little stain here, but you know, you're talking 70-year-old approximately. But it's got a cool cityscape back here. I'm guessing this is Manhattan. Don't ask me why. And there's 4 cops. Maybe these are the bad cops that were arrested and thrown in the back of the cruiser. But I love this old 50s stuff. Now, this is before streamlining. So just from the vehicle style alone, streamlining started in 55. So this has to be 1954 or earlier. I'm guessing 53 or 52, judging by the style of the vehicle. So it's definitely approximately 70 years old. And it also had illumination on the headlights. So again, I assumed it was a battery toy. So very cool box. But then I get the toy, right? And at first I said, wow, there's a freaking hole in the side, which I never remembered. Now this antenna is tucked in here. Should I untuck it? I'm just going to leave it alone in there. And I said, mine, I recall being white. Which, okay. Now I'm looking at this. These sort of look like bulbs. I'm like, okay. So then I flip it over. I'm like, where is the battery compartment? There's no battery compartment in this thing. So then I said, you know, because when I saw this, I assumed it was the on-off switch. Well, this is a key wind hold. I said, this giant car is a wind-up? You got to be kidding me. But it is. I had no idea they made this in a wind-up. Now, there's no sparking in here. These do look like bulbs, but they're not. Or maybe they're bulbs and they just don't, they're not wired. So, and this is a solid plastic, so there's no spark or anything to that effect. So anyway, it's just a very mysterious, to me, toy. Now, it's a beautiful toy. It has what my other one had, which was the 2 litho, let me lift this up, the 2 lithoed policemen. And to, you know, I have to imagine this, it has to be much rarer than the battery version, because I've seen the battery version numerous times, but I've never seen it in the box. Well, I probably have that. I just haven't paid attention to it. But nice colors. It's those 50s. You know, not the bright 60s colors. It's kind of a tan, muted, black, like a brownish, mustard. The dash, everything about it, even the greens inside there, it's definitely the 50s color palette, which I love. And I'm not the only one. So, and even the box, too. So I had this, and I'm trying to figure out, all right, well, I guess you wind it up and it goes, but let me get something here to give it a little friction. Maybe it'll give it friction. No, still too slick. I have another surface which worked a little better, but if you do this, you can basically run this as a friction toy. I'm trying to see if I can, and I did that on a, I'm going to see if I have anything that'll provide some grip. So sit tight. Maybe just paper. Nope, too slick. So I have to have like sandpaper on here. But anyway, what I discovered was that you can run this and it gives you the siren sound just by moving the wheel. Now this wheel spins loose, and this is the only drive wheel here. It's one directional, you can't spin it in the other. So it's a little perplexing. If this was a wind-up, right, this would be either winding or unwinding. So this would technically be unwinding. So it wouldn't be... It wouldn't be perpetually spinning as a wind-up if there's a spring in there, because eventually the spring would run out. Unless that wheel is strictly for the siren, but then maybe the spring busted or something. So maybe the robot HUD will chime in. And these wheels look like they should be able to be moved, but they're a little stiff. I'm not going to force them. Wobbly too. This needs to go to the alignment shop for a little balancing. Now that's why when you get your wheels aligned, they're supposed to spin smoothly. It's supposed to wobble like that. But anyway, it's an incredibly beautiful toy. Very cool. However, until I get a key. Now the other problem with this is the shaft, the wind-up shaft in here is really large. I'm going to see if I can get it in there. Yeah, you can kind of see it in there. It's not as big as the Diamond Plan, so that didn't work, but every other key I had was small. Too small to wind it. I tried some vintage, I tried some Chinese reproduction stuff, but I did not have a key that would fit that shaft. So it's sort of like a middle-of-the-road, medium-sized wind-up mechanism in there, which makes it really tough to figure out if it's overwhelmed or whatever. So I'll be still on the hunt. But anyway, I said it's still worth doing because it's a beautiful car, and I'll just kind of give you the flyover view. And, we'll wrap it up. So let me know what you think of this Marusan police car, what you feel the wind up, would you think the wind up is for the siren wheel there? I mean, and if it is, why would it continue to spin? Do you think it's for another part of the car? I'd be curious to know your thoughts on that, and let me know what you think in general. If you like this, do me a favor, thumb up the video. It does have a lot going on with lithography and attention to details, beautiful grille lights, like the badge there. In the chrome trim, you can see some factory touch-up, another badge here, license plate, a lot of stuff, a lot of intricate details, litho details on the inside. So I think it's a great toy. Hopefully I'll come across a key. But in the meantime, again, if you like it, thumb up the video. As always, I appreciate your time, my friends. And with that, I'll talk to you later.